Hey there, and welcome to Kevin's Commentary on Comics. Today I conclude my three-part review of When Superman Met God. Well, sort of. This is from DC Comics Presents number 27, 28, and 29. We've had The Martian Manhunter and Supergirl, and you can see those reviews by clicking the links below. Now here's the final installment, so hang on! Let's go to issue number 29, where no Superman has gone before. And this team-up features the Spectre. So we open with Superman wondering what happened to Supergirl, and we get the obligatory recap of what has gone on so far. And it was then that Superman figured out that Supergirl must have passed out when she flew through Warworld, but was still traveling at super speed through space, and since there's no friction in space, she's just kept on going. So he uses, again, his super computer-like mind to figure out the trajectory that Supergirl was flying and goes after her. So he flies so fast he exceeds the speed of light and begins to shatter the barriers of space and time until, and I quote, finally bursts through the very bonds of infinity. And he's ready to turn around, then all of a sudden he sees her, tries to go get her, but before he can actually grab her, the Spectre materializes in front of him and Superman bounces off of his chest. He tells Superman that he cannot continue because he was traveling too fast and too far, seeing things that no mortal man should see. And thus, the Spectre was dispatched to stop him. Of course, Superman wasn't having any of this and tried to punch out the Spectre, which really was pretty futile. The Spectre has the powers of a god and really is pretty much undefeatable. It was then that the Spectre felt that Superman needed a little educating and appears to swallow him, I guess, or drop him in his eye. I'm not really sure. It wasn't really clear. Kind of looked like he swallowed him. And the Spectre does a little Ghost of Christmas Past with Superman, taking him back to Krypton just before Krypton was going to explode. And Superman tries to save Krypton by hugging it, but apparently super hugging doesn't work because Krypton still explodes. And then Spectre takes him and sees Jonathan Kent, Superman's adoptive father from Earth, and Superman tries to prevent the Grim Reaper from getting Jonathan Kent, but again fails doing that, and is finally met with an evil version of himself, and they fight, but the evil version gets the better hand. Superman cannot figure out how to stop him, asks the Spectre for help. The Spectre says, all you need to do is open your eyes and see. Superman says, see what? See this creature that is unstoppable and only acts without thinking? And oh, I gotcha. It was then that he realized he has been a fool. He's been too cocky to handle Mongol on his own, thinking he would come up with a plan regardless without knowing what he was doing, acting without thinking. That is when he meets God. Remember, I told you at the start he was going to do that, so here it is. Okay, so maybe he didn't actually meet God or actually even see God, but he heard this almighty voice, and look at the font on this scene. That is God-like scripture font. I think that's God font, if I'm not mistaken. So, no, the comic didn't actually refer to this voice as being God, but the Spectre refers to the voice as his employer, and anybody who knows anything about the Spectre knows that, yeah, kind of is implied that he actually works for God. So the Spectre tells Superman that he had to stop him because he was about to break into heaven. And he says, and I'm going to quote directly from the pages here, "You were traveling far faster than you ever had before, my friend, shattering barrier after barrier until only one remained, that golden veil beyond which no living man may trespass." No living, Superman says? Sweet stars, you don't mean that... And then God says, yes, and to rejoice in your knowledge. So Bell, he really was flying fast if he was about ready to break into heaven. Whew. But what about Supergirl? Superman says, hey, guys, listen, you got to help me find my cousin, please. And the Spectre says, it's all you need to say, man. Just ask. Supergirl materializes in his arms, gives it back. Everything's cool. Man, this story was crazy. it was good. I mean, I really did enjoy it, but all of the superpowers going back and forth, it just showed you how much fun the DC universe used to be. I mean, granted, you can kind of say, well, man, as a plot device, it didn't matter what they wrote, they would just come up with some sort of super ability that would get Superman out of any type of sticky situation. But still, these were really fun. And I really enjoyed going back and reading this one, and I'm looking forward to reading some of the other ones, although I'm not sure they can beat Superman meeting God. I mean, you know, I see the next issue here is he teams up with Black Canary, so come on, what a letdown. So I look forward to reading the rest of this. I'm sure there'll be a couple other gems in here I can probably talk about. He does apparently team up with the Joker in one or two issues here, which will be interesting to read. So what did you think about the pre-Crisis DC universe? Were you a big fan? Did you think it was kind of ridiculous? Let me know by leaving a comment in the rectangle that is directly below this right here. See, I can't get through. Maybe if I could fly at such super speed where I could burst through the bonds of YouTube, and then I guess I could comment too, but I could do that anyway. So not that exciting. Kind of like a Black Canary team up. Anyway, I'm Kevin. That was my commentary. Hey, click on that subscribe button. I will probably talk more about DC Comics Presents as I get through this thing. So you need to subscribe so you can hear what I have to say about those stories, right? Right, of course you do. Hey, take it easy, and I'll see you later. Super hands. This is my super goodbye. Bye.